Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Oh, am
What are we
I?
getting started?
Did I just? Did I just do Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, Black Eyed Peas, a little
Yeah. I'm
Fergie there.
sorry. I'm sorry,
A
folks.
little
I
Fergie, Will I
apologize.
Am.
That was wrong of me. I don't know
Um,
what I was thinking. I just started
you
off this
know,
podcast terribly by
Fergie
singing
used to
Black
be
Eyed Peas.
married to Josh Duhamel,
I have no idea who that is.
and he used to be on All My Children. And then
Oh,
then he went to Hollywood. And then you know what he did? He replaced
yeah.
Emilio Estevez on the Mighty Ducks uh, Disney Plus series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never have seen
yeah.
that, but okay.
Are you a fan of the Mighty Ducks?
The original, but
Yeah.
after that, yeah, nothing.
Yeah, and the one where they went to be with Team USA hockey, that wasn't awful. The Mighty Ducks 2, D2 as they call it.
Oh, yeah. Never
And then
did
when they got to 3, where they went to this private academy and they added Keenan, not Kale. It got bad. You can't have Keenan without Kale.
that's
You know what I'm
yeah, what
saying?
are you thinking? Yeah.
And though Keenan's been on Saturday Night Live for what?
22
27
years, I think.
seasons? Yeah, I mean he's been on there for a while.
Something like that. Or yeah, the longest ever. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I think Keenan, if he watched this podcast, he would be a fan.
He would.
He
He'd
would be
love it.
like,
Hmm.
man, I like this.
Oh, he'd be like, these guys are
He'd
great.
be like, Keenan Thompson, he'd give me a like.
He would.
And then you know what? He's gonna call up Kel and say, hey man, I know we just did Hot Ones versus
He would
together.
share with Kale. He
He'd
would share.
share it.
Yeah.
Like, man, let's
Almost
get
like
these
it was a
guys
good
in Good
burger.
Burger 3. Know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
Know what I'm saying? And then Keenan and Kel would both subscribe. Because that
They
used to
would.
be like Keenan and Kel. Like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how I got all the way to Keenan and Kel from where we
Well,
started, but we got there.
that's how we roll, baby.
And
So, folks, be like Keenan and Kale should be, and
can we
like,
be in
share,
Good Burger
subscribe,
3? Can we get parts?
because I like a good burger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's have some music, then we'll get this party started.
1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his name. My Lord changes things. My Lord changes things. Can you hear me now? Church, can you hear me now? Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you a change is thing. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen a death man raised? I promise you a change is thing. My Lord changes me, yeah. My Lord changes me.
Anyway,
Church, can you hear me now? Oh, church. Ever seen a broken heart made whole? Ever seen an orphan find a home?
what's up, everybody? It's time. It's time for the Hawg Slop podcast. I'm your boy, Bigger T, joined as always by my man, Big C, Clint Clark. How you doing, Clint?
Man, I am fantastic. I'm doing just absolutely wonderful. I hope you're having a great week.
Yeah,
Um,
you look hunky dory,
I feel
whatever that
hunky dory.
means.
I feel hunky dory. I turned 50 and I fought a cold ever since. My cough is just now somewhat going away. So, this is 50, like just a
It is.
constant cold.
Yep.
Trav, I was sitting there. I was watching earlier. I was watching a bit because I consume a lot of my podcast stuff just in miniature bites on YouTube and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, And then I was watching Tom Brady talk about Randy Moss, and then of course I thought about that team that didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Randy Moss is one of those great tragedies that he does not have a Super Bowl ring
Oh, for sure.
because he's probably the most talented wide receiver of,
Ever.
of ever. I mean, I mean, you put talent on paper, he's better than Jerry Rice.
And I've heard Tom Brady talk about him. I don't know if I watched the same one you did, but recently I've watched him talk about him a couple of different times, and he can't talk more glowingly about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's Jerry Rice is the greatest football player of all time, but you talk about just pure talent. Randy Moss probably has him.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Jerry Rice would tell you that Jerry Rice is the most talented wide receiver of all time.
Yeah. May have been the
But
hardest worker, but yeah. Correct.
um, now, so you got that team, that New England Patriots team. Then you also have the Golden State Warriors that broke the Chicago Bulls records
Mhm.
for the most single season win, and then they got beat by LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, Travis, what I'm asking you right now, which team is the better team not to win it all? That New England Patriots team or that Golden State Warriors team? And I think I know your answer before you even say it. And I think I'm going to tell you why I think your answer is what it is. So go ahead.
I don't know. That's a good question. I've never thought about it.
I just knocked my glass off my head.
Uh, man, you could argue either one
See, I
very
think I'm
well.
seeing. I thought you would immediately say the uh, the New England Patriots were the better team to not win it all, because me and you, we remember. Listen, me and you both think that if I guarantee you, if that Golden State team played this Bulls team, the record they beat,
Yeah.
me and you would both pick the Bulls.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just would, and so we don't even think we don't think they're the better team. But the Patriots, that's the best team to never not win the Super Bowl ever.
Especially when Tom Brady finally had a stud receiver.
Yeah, that team had it
Like
all.
all the other ones, he did it without you know, prototypical, he never had a big, like even like an Andre Brown or
Yeah.
like I mean, he didn't have like Michael Irvin, Jerry Rice. That was the one time he had that guy.
Mhm.
And so you're right. I mean, that he finally has that guy and not able to do it. Yeah.
I
So
mean, well, and it's just like we weren't alive to see the Dolphins.
yeah. Yeah.
And I think, it'd be unfair to compare the two because the game is played totally different.
Yeah.
You show up and run that offense now, you're not going to win a high school game.
Yeah.
And just high school offenses are more complicated than anything. And by the way, Travis, I live in Texas, so I get a lot of like prep stuff on my phone, and
Mhm.
I'm sure you do too. Have you noticed the unsettling amount of high school kids transferring in Texas? And a good bit of them being found ineligible, like Colton Nussmeyer, who Arkansas was recruiting. I think he's committed to Georgia,
Mm.
is ineligible for his senior year of high school.
Oh wow, I hadn't heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he tried to transfer,
Yeah.
and they ruled him ineligible, so he's about to sit out a year.
Yeah, they're trying to. I mean, even in Arkansas, they're trying to clamp down on some of the rules so that they don't want it to turn into what college has turned into. And a lot of kids are trying to model that, and I mean, it's happening in some places. I mean, there was some Arkansas recruits moved to the kid, but they had roots here, but
Right.
some of them. But I don't know. There was a couple that moved to Bentonville. I don't know if they had roots there,
Well, there's
not to be closer. But anyway,
no. I was watching. I was watching an old scene from Friday Night Lights where they discovered like Luke Cafferty. That address is just a mailbox
yeah,
out in the middle of nowhere.
yeah,
And Buddy's going off on him because that's my mailbox.
Yeah.
I dug the hole from that mailbox.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
I do that mailbox what I want because that's my mailbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just anyway,
Well, speaking of mailboxes, some Razorback athletes are going to get some checks in their mailbox pretty soon
nice.
because some the baseball players went in the draft this last weekend, Clint, and it's an exciting time. And Arkansas had one of their best drafts ever, if not the best draft ever.
No,
Uh,
I agree with you. And you know what I told you all year, there was talent on this team. It just wasn't clicking.
yeah, and
It wasn't. It was, and the MLB scouts seem to agree with me.
yeah, it's this team was talented. I mean, there's some talent there. We see Ryder Helfrich, the goes number 27 to the Diamondbacks. Um,
I thought
don't
he
know a
was
lot about
15.
the Diamondbacks nowadays.
I thought he was 15. I thought
He is number 15. I'm looking on Yahoo
w
Sports has
yeah,
him down
yeah,
looking
Wiggins,
wrong.
I believe Carson Wiggins,
Wiggins is
who didn't even get
15,
to pitch this year.
number 27.
How big would it be to have that guy? I mean, that's pretty much like taking Gage Wood off last year's team.
Well, and that's why Dadgum, you know, Van Horn was ticked off that he wasn't pitching. Van Horn wanted him to pitch. You know, he got cleared, but I guess he got advice to not pitch. Now, if you're Wiggins and you're his people, it worked out well because he ended up getting the first round draft pick. And
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
no, 100%. I mean, it's a bad situation, but what a difference it is if you've got him as your Friday night starter and you got the next draft pick as your Saturday
or
starter.
him as your Kevin Cops coming in throwing
Yeah,
triple digits. You know, I mean, because rumor is that's what he was throwing,
yeah.
even after his surgery. So then you had Hunter Dietz going to my New York Yankees. Congratulations, Dietz. Get up there, get up to the Bronx quickly, buddy. Um, then Gackle went to the Athletics, number 74 overall. And then our boy Camden Kozel went down to the Marlins in Miami. Hey, man, he's in a state with some great fishing, so he'll be happy there. Well, of course, he's got to work his way to there, but that was a good place for him to go, hopefully. And then Ethan McIlvain went to the Royals, so he's going to join the Wallace boys in their system.
Yeah.
Ethan McIlvain I just said that. Damon Ruiz went to the Reds. Kohia Aloy, which we were, some thought may not get drafted because, well, I mean, he didn't,
They didn't have the best of years and the injury.
and he really doesn't have, doesn't have a position. He's a DH right now. And, a lot of people were saying it'd be really good if he came back for a year and maybe, got another year under his belt. But looks like he's going to the Mets. Uh, Willis Magnus, third baseman. Not sure on him. He was the guy that apparently. Ben Cleary, infielder, went to the Guardians. Colin Fisher, the big tuna, went to the Giants. Tate McGuire went to the Angels. Chris Diaz went to the Marlins. Cooper Dowsett went to the Mets. Parker Cole went to the Guardians. So that's the guys that got drafted. Cole went number 603 overall. He was the last one. And what's amazing, Clint, is we had a lot of pitchers go,
Yeah.
but that was kind of the weakness of this team this year.
Yeah.
But
I just
my question for you is, do you think any of those pitchers end up being a starter in the league, though?
yeah. Well, you never can tell. I think Carson Wiggins probably has the best shot. Um, Deets. I mean, you just never know when the light's going to come on, and you get them down there. One of the things that when we had baseball coach's name, I've got his number saved on my phone.
Jorn.
Coach Jorn, you heard him talk about the arm slot, and it's just where you throw the ball from. Now, if you're Matt Hobbs and you got a pitcher that needs his arm slot adjusted,
Mm,
you've got 2 to 3 years. You're not messing with it.
yeah.
But if you're the Angels or you're the Yankees and you've just selected Hunter Dietz, and I'm not saying this is Hunter's problem, but you will fine tune more of the slide, so you've got a little bit more time to work with them and develop them. So looking at the way they paid this year, absolutely not. Maybe one or two of them make it to the bigs. Um, but I don't see him being a Gage Wood and starting the futures game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see a frontline guy like that.
No,
So,
I think Dietz has a chance to be a middle reliever.
yeah,
I think Gackle the same way. I think McIlvain, another one. If he makes the bigs, he'll probably be like a middle late reliever, something like that. I think Wiggins they turn into a closer. I think with the heat he's got, that I think he ends up being a closer or a late guy. Um, as far as starters go, I think, and I know it sounds weird, but Cole and Fisher have the better chance. I don't think they got the stuff to make it to the league, to the bigs maybe, but who
yeah.
knows? They might.
I'm gonna say something here. Like, this is an exact science. This scouting college players too, because Mike Piazza, like a last round draft pick, drafted as a favor to his dad by Tommy Lasorda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Albert Pujols was, I think, a ninth round pick.
Yeah.
You know, I, now, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's only been there's two players I think in the Hall of Fame that were drafted first overall, and I think it was Chipper Jones and Ken Griffey Jr., if I'm not mistaken. The only two, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm almost positive. I think Chipper and Ken were both, but the list of number one overall picks that have been just studs is not that high.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? It's like Pat McAfee said about the NFL. All you gotta do is get in the building.
That's right. Well, and that's the thing. And if they get on the right, of course, baseball's so different because you got so many levels to work your way up. And, some of that, man, you got to get in the right league and the right teams and the right managers for those teams. I mean, the coaches you have along the way. I mean, there's still a long way for these guys to go because none of these guys, Helfrich may be the only one that ends up catching within a year or two in the big leagues. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, he's the only one we could see probably
Man, I
pretty
think right
soon.
now, we've got you've got Wallace that's getting close.
Yeah,
And then you've also, I think um Gage Wood. I think Gage Wood's getting close too. I think both
yeah,
those guys, we're gonna see them in the bigs sooner rather than later. Um and I'm excited for them. Yeah, like Gage got to pitch the All-Star weekend, was the starter for the Futures game. And he just was like, man, walking out on the big league stadium about how cool it was. So
yeah,
uh, excited for that.
yeah. That's definitely good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Well, Clint, so that sets up, uh, the baseball team for next year. We kind of know one thing we don't really know what's going to happen was, Souza. He's the only one that didn't get drafted that was possible to get drafted. Hopefully he comes back. He can come back, but
Yeah.
I think Dave likes his recruiting class and portal class
Yeah.
and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Now, today we had some good news in basketball. Uh, it was expected news. It's not necessarily a shocker at all, but Caleb Oragu, the number 55 overall player from the 2027 class, was as committed to the Razorbacks. Now, him along with Thompson, who's also a, a 2027 right now, maybe later this week, maybe next week, we're going to find out if they're going to reclassify. But Clint, I have to think that they're going to reclassify, or why else would they be announcing right now? You know what I mean?
No, no, 100%. And I think, were they going to get more out of being death pieces for the Arkansas Razorbacks or dominating high school competition?
Yeah.
I know what my ego would do. I would
Yeah.
play high school. But my pocketbook's got to be looking at that NIL money going,
Yeah.
oh. So
And this
PayPal
Arago,
Cal may be hooking them up. So,
that's right.
no, I think they're going to be death pieces, but I'm with you. Like, why do it now? Why do it now if you're not going to reclassify?
Yeah.
And just to add into an already stacked class, like I said, is we're all really excited, but the team's young. It's going to be young. The average age is going to be under 19 years of age.
Yeah.
Uh,
18.7, something like that.
18.7. I'm not too worried about it. I think, that there's they're going to be able to have athletic and a lot out talent a lot of people. And I think the guards are going to be very physical, like you said. JJ Andrews, I mean, anything like his dad, he's going to be a very, very physical guy. So I'm looking forward to basketball season more than anything. I mean, like, I'm looking forward to football season, but I'm really looking forward to basketball season because when it comes to basketball season and baseball season next year, we know we've got a chance to win it all.
Yeah. And you brought up, an important point there. You know, Cal likes to go with the young guys. He doesn't like the older transfer portal guys. He's spoken out against having older guys play. He's all for this 5 years to play five thing so that you don't have older, 27
Yeah.
year olds playing against 18-year-olds. He's been very outspoken about that. But the truth is, Clint, in the tournaments in the past couple years, these older teams have been the teams that have really done well. You
Yeah,
know,
but
Michigan last year, their whole front line was older transfer guys that had come
yeah,
in.
yeah, but a lot of them got one or two older guys, and the core is still freshmen. I think Michigan was Michigan last year. That team was good, so it's going to be. I don't know.
Well, and
I
just
really.
being upfront about this team, the weaknesses going in that I'm seeing, okay, I think the front line, we've been worried about that a lot, and we've talked about it. Me and you've talked about it on here, especially adding this young man. I I'm not too worried about them. I think there's depth there at least. You're going to be able to rotate a lot of guys. One of them's going to be hot and having a good game, both defensively, offensively. I think you're going to have some good things there. I think the experience, whenever you got three players pretty much, you got Bowser, you got Billy Richmond, and you got the kid from Georgia, the guard from Georgia, as your pretty much your only guys with any experience, okay, with it at all. I mean, we got the one guy that's redshirted last year for us. That's it. And then you got uh I think the thing we got to thankfully if Thompson reclassifies, then we're better at this. But really our guard, like I mean, we got a lot of wing, guys, but really we don't have, we have Jordan Smith, we got the Georgia guy, and now we got Thompson. That's our real true guards. Everybody else is versatile guys, I guess you could say.
Well, and you got Jordan Smith, everybody's saying gonna be a top five pick.
Yeah.
He got Mika, which a lot of people saying is gonna be a top five pick.
Yeah.
You're gonna have two top five picks. I mean, yeah, you're gonna win a lot of games.
Yeah.
You just are because you're gonna have that much talent.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, I mean, it's definitely going to be a talented team. There's going to be some, I'm just trying to throw out some reality here. Everybody's pumped. We just added this big man. He seems to be a guy that's focused on a little more defense, a little more rebounding, which is something we wanted in our next signee. He's a physical guy. He's a little bigger. He's going to grow some. He's only 17 years old or about to be 18, something like that.
Yeah.
So, however, this team's going to have some growing pains. They're going to take some bumps with some of these early games, especially the schedule they're going to have. But I think, like a lot of Cal teams, by the end of the year, they're going to round into some and have a chance to round into something special and give us something excited during the tournament.
No, no, Trav, you were just telling me before we came on here, Hunter Yurchek has made everyone in Arkansas mad.
Yeah. Hunter
What
just
is the
can't.
man's a menace? He's a menace, I tell you.
He just, man, gosh, Clint, I want a job being his PR guy. Just
You don't need that stress.
That's a lot of stress because he just don't know what to say and how to say it. It's kind of like Ricky Bobby. He don't know what to do with his hands. He don't know what to do with his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, look who you're
um,
talking to.
yeah. Well, and on Hogs Plus, he did an interview, and I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but pretty much was sort of telling all the fan base that we need to be all in like the players are, and we need to that recruits read negative social media posts, and that it hurts recruiting whenever fans post negative stuff and things like that. Okay. Which
Yeah.
Clint, listen, what he said isn't wrong.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. But as a leader, you don't say that out loud.
I completely disagree with you. I completely disagree with you. I could not disagree with you more. Um, I just know he's saying something that needs to be said. I mean, you had Sam Pittman saying, man, I had to go explain to my punter, I had to pull my punter aside because this is being said at him on social media. I mean, me and you got it over a post where we were talking about Golish being the hire and the amount of hate that me and you got, and me
Yeah.
and you, and we all know, like, look, that guy was trying to troll an A plus troll, and I gave him C minus material because I was restraining myself because I'm friends with Travis. So, um, but what I'm saying is yeah, man, like he didn't say anything that was not factual, and I have no problem saying, hey guys, we need to keep it positive because if you don't think you're, if I go on and I complain about, if I go on and I give a store, if I go to 7-Eleven, I give it a 1-star review. Like I hate the 7-Eleven. The slurping machine was broken, blah, blah, blah. Am I more likely to get 7-Eleven to fix the slurping machine or to keep somebody else from going to get the Slurpee?
Yeah, but people griping about the Hogs losing games and going 2-10, and Sam Pittman's coaching and whatever
No, that
else.
no that no that's different. And
That
see,
that
you're saying that he's commenting on this instead of the big picture, and that's where I disagree with you.
well, the thing is, that stuff's gonna happen. And these recruits know that stuff's gonna happen. They know there's gonna be negative stuff. And I'm not okay in it. And look, I'm a person, I'm very careful with my social media. I don't put
Yeah,
anything negative ever on social media.
I don't anymore.
I don't want anything out there. I want to be able to look back at my social media and not have anything I'm ashamed of. I'm very careful about that. Okay. So I'm that type of person. I agree with what he said. I
Yeah.
just don't think, as the person who's making bad decisions over and over again, as the person who probably fired Sam Pittman late, as the person who has said things and that he shouldn't have said, who doesn't give all the really good answers when he's asked questions, who's treated the boosters in a bad way. I mean, that there a lot of them report that he doesn't reach out to them like he should and doesn't all those things. If for him to be chastising people for their social media posts, he's got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
He
See,
needs to concentrate on making Ron Silverfield and all the other coaches that are under his his tutelage or whatever the best they can be
to
instead
me,
of
this
going
is one of
out
the
and
things.
doing
If
that.
you already did not like Hunter Yurchek, you could absolutely use this as kindling on the fire. If you're like me, I don't see what the big deal about it is. I really don't, and I still don't. I kind of see where you're coming from. To me, it's just not that big of a deal. But you know what? That's why there's different radio stations because people
Yeah.
have different. Uh,
Well, in one of those radio stations, Matt Jones uh, on his show was played the clip, and he had some really strong remarks. If you get a chance, go check him out. He just pretty much said you're a chick's an idiot, and he was very much just didn't like what he said. He said, pretty much was saying, why don't you focus on getting wins, building the program, and not that. And that's the thing. It's not the fact of what he said. It's that really it's not his place to say it that way, honestly. I don't think. I think it's something, yeah, he can tweet something out about, hey, let's get behind these hogs. I mean, if you're going to want everybody to be a cheerleader, then you be a cheerleader yourself, you know? And he doesn't do that great of a job of that. And
well,
so,
and like I said, is if you don't think Hunter Yurchek's job is on the line this football season, Ryan Silverfield's job is not on the line this football season.
no,
Ryan Silverfield could go 2-10, and
yeah.
he'll still have a job next year. He goes 2-10, or I think that's a good question, Travis. Is how many games does Ryan Silverfield have to win for Hunter Yurchek to keep his job? And I see, and what's funny is I don't even think I think 2-3. If they hit the 2-3 mark, Hunter Yurchek's fired. I think they can go 3-2 and he'll be fine. But if they hit 2-3, I think Hunter Yurchek is fired.
Yeah, here's the deal, Clint. And the thing is, you're a check. If you look at, it's not really his job production that's so bad. His job production and everything but football, he's just had a tough time in football. And it's not all his fault, okay? And that's the thing. I don't like Juracek, but it's not for really. I think he's actually decent at his job. It's the PR stuff. He's terrible at it. He just doesn't. He's not a good leader when it comes to that. I just think he handles things the wrong way. I mean, it's just like we talked about with the naming of the stadium. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I just think it was handled in a weird, kind of shady way that could have been communicated to us why it was. It maybe have good reasons it was handled that way. Well, explain to us why, and don't just leave it out there us thinking, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
not on his job, because that's what he's doing. And just like, I mean, the touchdown club comments and all those things, he's just not good at that. That's why I think hire somebody else to be the
Yeah. Well,
voice.
no, what I mean, what we need
Let
is we
him
need
do all the work.
listen. We need to hire we need to bring in Mike Beebe, former governor of Arkansas, because that's what we want. We want a politician that's just going to give us speak. That, I mean, is that what we want? Do we want to hire Mike Beebe?
No,
Maybe bring in Huckabee,
no,
or somebody
no,
like that. I mean, because that's what we don't want someone to come in and tell us the truth. We want somebody to come and just give us speak. Hey, man, here's the
no.
most
I want the
politically
truth,
correct
but I
bull
want
crap
it.
I can say.
He's not giving the truth. He didn't give the truth on what happened with the stadium. He
Well,
is
not
not giving
yet.
us the truth on that. He's
But when they tell, but see, we're going to gripe about him not telling the truth there. But then when he tells the truth over here, it's a problem.
well, he's just
We
telling the
just we
truth
want
when
to pick
it's
which truth he
good
says.
for him.
I mean, isn't that human nature?
Well,
Isn't everyone's favorite radio station WIIFM? What's in it for me? Uh,
well, partially, but
yeah,
I mean, I just really think he just
yeah. I
handled a
mean,
lot of
I think
things
they're
the
wrong.
wrong
And
way.
there's plenty of reasons not to like Hunter Yurchek. I don't like going 2-10 in football and flaming out in every other sports. And why, hey, if we're behind in NIL, why did we get behind? Why weren't you out in front of that? Isn't that your
Yeah,
job to get out in front of that? I mean,
yeah,
if you want to hate him for that, then
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Or for bundling that. But this to me is a non issue that if you want to pile on, you can pile on. It's kind of like reminded me when I was going through my divorce, me and my ex-wife were thinking of every little thing the other one could have possibly ever done wrong to use against each other in a court of law.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, I'm no secret. I think he's trying to get out of here anyway, but I think he's going
he's got me and you arguing now, so he's got to get.
yeah. No, he just, I think he's, he's honest. I think there's a lot of people upset with him. A lot of people don't like him. And,
Well, there'll be
for
a
the reasons you mentioned and for things like this. And part of it is, it's kind of like a fat guy telling you need to lose weight.
right.
You're telling somebody they need to do something, and then you're like, hey man, why ain't you worried about that other stuff? Why ain't you worried about the NIL money? Why ain't you worried about
Yeah,
all that other stuff? Why are you worried about getting on the fans about their social media post right now? So that's kind of, yeah, maybe, you know you're tell the fat guy telling somebody they need to lose weight, they need to lose weight, but man, they got some issues themselves
yeah.
too. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. So anyway, Clint, another podcast group, uh, we I listen to some. Do you ever listen to Fourth and Five with DJ Williams and them?
No, you couldn't pay me to listen to that.
Oh, well, I like, they do a morning show that's pretty good, and I listen to it sometimes. And
I'm
they
joking. You could pay me to listen to it,
yeah, but
but
they
you're got
did
to
a
pay me.
deal where they put out a deal and they put it down on social media. Uh, it's you got to pick a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, and a
Okay, yeah,
tight
you
end.
sent this to me. Yeah.
You got to pick a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end. You have $10 to spend. Okay, and you have, so let's look at this and see what we would do, like what team we would put together if we were spending
Okay, yeah. So the four
money.
dollar row has Ron Mallett at quarterback, Darren McFadden at running back, Traylon Burks at wide receiver, and Hunter Henry at tight end. Those are all $4 a piece. Your $3 row is Matt Jones, Felix Jones, Joe Adams, DJ Williams. $2 is Sterner, Cedric Cobbs, Greg Childs, CJ Gregg. In the bottom basement row is Quinn Grovey, Alex Collins, Anthony Lucas, and CJ O'Grady.
Yeah.
So
So
Trev,
let's go per position.
okay.
So at quarterback, are you going with $4 for Mallett, $3 for Jones, $2 for Sterner, or $1 for Grovey?
Hold on here. I'm going to spend $2 on Clint Sterner.
See, I'm gonna go $1 for Quinn Grovey. 1 for Quinn Grovey. 1 for Sterner. 1 for Jones. 1 for Sterner. Or $1 for Grovey. 1 for Sterner. 1 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 for Grovey.
See, and man, I remember Quinn Grovey, but I don't remember Quinn Grovey, so I don't remember his arm being that great. So I don't know him well enough.
How many points they score against Houston
Yeah.
and Andre Ware in Little Rock? He could do it.
Well, no, I'm
Especially
just saying to trade my mind triple option guy.
yeah.
I thought Sterner could throw
No,
it around
Sterner's
better
not a
than
bad pick for sure, especially with who you could pair him with here.
right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so who running back McFadden, Jones, Cedric Cobbs, Alex Collins.
I'm gonna have to. There comes a time that you got to spend $4 on something, and that's the goat. That is the man. Everybody wants his number. I've got to take Darren McFadden.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Alex Collins. So
So
I've
you're
spent $2 so far, Clint.
$2, and
I'm
I'm at
dollar.
6.
I'm at Family Dollar right now, baby. I'm at Dollar General. We're working.
So,
Uh,
oh,
wide receiver, Traylon Burks, Joe Adams, Greg Childs, Anthony Lucas.
it's funny when I turn on like my Instagram feed, I see highlights usually of two Razorback players, and one of those is Darren McFadden. The other one is a punt return that is just out of this world. I'm going Joe Adams, which gives away my tight end pick, but
Well,
I'm going Joe Adams, so I've got $9. I've spent $9.
I spent
on-
$2 so far. I'm gonna bust it up and spend an extra. And I like Traylon Burks. He's one of my favorite Razorbacks to ever play,
Yeah.
especially on offense. He's one of my favorite Razorback receivers to ever play. I wish he was doing, hopefully, he does better at Washington this year. He's past injuries and stuff. But anyway, so I'm at a hefty $6 now
$6. So you can
with
pretty much
Traylon
get every
Burks.
tight end you want, and I'm stuck with CJ O'Grady, who I think CJ O'Grady was like the bright spot on offense under the Chad Morris years. So I'm not upset about it.
Dude, and the thing is, you put CJ O'Grady with Clint Sterner and you could have magic. Because
And then
then
you've got
O'Grady,
Darren McFadden and you've got Joe Adams. That is a heck of a
that's a heck of a
lineup.
team. Yeah. I'm going to go with DJ Williams for mine
So
instead of
you would
Hunter Henry.
actually, and so you're saying you would actually take DJ Williams over Hunter Henry.
Um,
I mean, because you've got the money to get either one of them. You were legit saying,
for this team, yeah.
I think you're insane. But
Yeah.
I remember DJ Williams being a kid coming into the movie theater when I was a manager at Breckenridge.
Yeah.
He'd come in wearing his Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
So, and I really do admire that the man's back in media in Little Rock and thriving in that. I just think his podcast can be a
Yeah.
little negative sometimes towards the Razorbacks, and I don't care to watch it.
Yeah.
So,
I like he does a good job, especially when the breakdowns of the when he breaks down film of some of the players, and
yeah.
he's doing some stuff about with some of the recruits and stuff like that. So but yeah, but also I think he was a better blocker than Henry. Um Henry and I mean both of them won Mackey Awards, right? Or,
I think Henry is a Super Bowl win away from getting a gold jacket.
I don't know about that.
I think he's in, I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
he's far.
I don't think he's got the stats for that. I don't
Well,
think.
but Henry is going to get it. Hey, Hunter Henry's going to get an NFL pension, so
Oh,
that
he's having a good. He's having a good career. He's had a lot of injuries and shortened seasons, uh, in there mixed in there. But yeah, they're loving him. I mean, they're definitely Vrabel likes him at New England. So
yeah.
now, Clint, before we go, just one last thing. Let's one of the big news or one of the big talking points that the national shows are doing, and folks on here may not care too much about it, but I think it's kind of an interesting conversation, is what LeBron should do. Should LeBron, what team should he go to? And Philly's making a push, but it's kind of looking like Cleveland, Golden State, and then Miami's in there also, I think. Are there any others you're hearing on it?
No, I mean I think everyone's reached out, but I've heard Golden State, Philly, and Cleveland. They said Cleveland made a move that tends to think that they're out, but LeBron's not worried about money. LeBron's going to come do a rookie deal. Um, um, so they so I so it just I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, this is a more mature LeBron. Do you want the feel good story? Go out in Cleveland, and
Yeah.
if you happen to get your second championship for him while you're there, awesome. You're going to go out, and everybody's going to remember that you did that for Cleveland.
Yeah.
But LeBron hasn't always been the good guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes LeBron's been the villain. When it came to the decision, he was the villain.
Yeah.
When it come to going to LA, he was a bit of a villain, not that bad. Everybody kind of understood it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as the decision. I think going to Golden State, he immediately there he'll become a villain. And
Yeah.
the problem with going to Golden State is you're one of many aging players on that team.
Yeah.
Um, you go to Cleveland, you can kind of be the wise man and go there. Philadelphia is also another intriguing possibility.
Yeah.
If I'm going for the ring, I'm going to Philly. If I'm going for a feel good story, I'm probably going to
But
Cleveland.
but here's the deal. Cleveland is for the ring too. Cleveland was an Eastern Conference final team, right? Or semifinal
Yeah,
team,
you adding
whatever.
LeBron to that team is only going to help. You got Mitchell
And
all
if
there.
if you can get rid of Harden, which they're talking about, he may be wanting out. So you get rid of Harden because Harden's a curse. Okay, he's a curse for every team he's on. So get rid of
Got a
him.
great beard. Got a great beard though.
Wonderful beard, wonderful beard.
No,
But
I'm hoping he goes to Cleveland. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see him in the career there. And
and that's what I'm thinking. I think you get both at Cleveland. You
yeah,
get the feel good story.
because
Know,
even look. Let's just say it's game 6 of the Eastern semifinals. The Knicks are up 12. There's a minute left in the game. You're not coming back.
mm,
You have that moment where you get to come off the court as a Cleveland Cavalier one last time,
yeah,
get the standing ovation, get the goodbye. That's worst case scenario.
yeah,
Well, no, worst case scenario, you end up like Aaron Rodgers, you're carrying the American flag out and blow your Achilles.
yeah. That's right.
But that should be, that should be the basement.
Well, and like I said, Cleveland's a legitimate shot at a title, also.
Yeah.
And that's what people I think when they talk about this kind of forget about that they're legit, especially in the East, right? They're a legitimate shot. It's the draw to stay in California may be there for him. He's got his production company and all that kind of stuff. So that's where San Francisco could, along with playing with, he's friends with Curry and Draymond Green. And then if they make the move to get, what's his name? The center from Washington that used to play with
Oh,
him,
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Anthony Davis. If they make the move to get him, they think that may seal it for him wanting to go
Well, and
there.
he's played under Steve Kerr before with Team USA. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
not like he's unfamiliar with playing for
yeah,
Steve Kerr. So
yeah.
and Steve Kerr doesn't know how to manage him. So
We'll see. It's intriguing, but the Razorbacks are doing well in the NBA Summer League. A-Cuff's, doing pretty good. He's working his way in there, and then Malik Thomas had 35 points the other
yeah.
night for Cleveland. So
Brazil's looking good.
yeah. See, and LeBron could play with Leak. Come
Yeah,
on, LeBron. There you go, buddy.
Yeah. Play
Yeah. Cal thinks everybody met. Did you see Cal at the game? And,
Cal's everywhere,
I
man,
know he's everywhere. It's so cool, man. It's so good.
and he's wearing the Razorback stuff. I love it. So
I know. Yeah. All right, folks. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think. What do you think about this baseball team? The players that were drafted. How long before we get a video on Cam Kozel's YouTube page of him
Catching a
wrestling
big
an alligator?
alligator, grilling in a barracuda,
That's right.
something.
Something.
Hit us
That's
with it.
happening. That's happening. That's happening. And
Freshwater fishing, Camden Coastal.
that's right.
Woo! Saltwater, I mean. Yeah, saltwater.
Or maybe he might start hunting them pythons that are loose down there.
Yeah,
and
well, I mean, you get
stuff.
money for that.
That's right. There's reality shows about it, right?
Yep.
All right, folks. Appreciate you watching, listening,
big.
all that stuff. Have a great week. Peace out.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying, your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work my hands.